Our Chancellor Scholz of Germany says Russia will not win its war with Ukraine and President Putin must not be allowed to dictate peace terms. He was speaking in Davos hours after President Zelensky issued a bitter rebuke to the West for dithering over heavy weapons supplies and for the idea from some that peace would be impossible without territorial sacrifices to Russia.
Putin darf seinen Krieg nicht gewinnen.
Putin must not win his war. I am convinced he will not win it. He has already failed to achieve all his strategic goals. A seizure of the whole of Ukraine by Russia seems further away today than it did at the beginning of the war. Also thanks to the impressive defensive struggle of the Ukrainian army and population. More than ever, Ukraine is emphasizing its European future.
Olaf Scholz there. Now, in Ukraine itself, Russian forces have attacked more than 40 towns in the eastern Donetsk and Luhansk regions. Officials say at least 5 civilians have been killed. 2 key cities, Severodonetsk and Lysychansk, have come under intense bombardment. And there's heavy fighting for a crossroads connecting Ukrainian territory. Our Ukraine correspondent Joe Inwood reports from Kiev.
Russia is trying to take the Donbas with overwhelming force. These shots, released by the Ukrainian Ministry of Defense, show a thermobaric bombardment of their positions. Russia's current targets are the twin cities of Severodonetsk and Lysychansk. They are not cut off yet, but the only route to them has been under increasing bombardment for days. If it becomes impassable, thousands of Ukraine's best soldiers may be cut off, along with civilians. Towns across the region are emptying out.
I don't know where we are going. We are just trying to get as far away as possible from the war. That is the main thing.
The increasing human cost of this war has led to some people questioning whether it is worth Ukraine giving up some land to save lives. Recently, the suggestion was made by former US Secretary of State Henry Kissinger at the World Economic Forum. It's fair to say it did not go down well here in Kyiv.
No matter what the Russian state does, there is always someone who says, let's take its interests into account. This year in Davos, it was heard again. Despite thousands of Russian missiles hitting Ukraine, despite tens of thousands of Ukrainians killed, despite Bucha and Mariupol, despite the destroyed cities.
And every day the list of destruction gets longer. This is Kramatorsk, a key city in the Donbas for both the Russians and Ukrainians. People here know that when Severodonetsk falls, their city will be next. Yevgen is just 13. He barely flinches at the sound of shelling now. I got used to it in my village, he says. That was a 122 shell. The longer this war goes on, the greater the scars. Not just on the towns and villages of this country, but on the people that live there too. Joe Inwood, BBC News, Kyiv.